Welcome back to the Wednesday night Bible study. Last week, I was in the middle of the story about Rahab and I ran out of time, and I would like to continue that. This one might be a short one, but we are in what would this be? The 16th installment now. We'll call this Rahab Part 2. Remember, this is based off of Hebrews 11, where it said, by faith, the prostitute Rahab, because she welcomed the spies, was not killed with those who were disobedient or unbelieving. Okay, so let's pick up from where we left off. That she had hid the two spies on the roof, right? And then the soldiers from Jericho took off after them in this wild goose chase. Alrighty. Now. Okay, now what's going on at the roof? So the soldiers are off trying to find them. The two spies are up on the roof. Then we come to verse 8. Before the spies lay down for the night, she went up on the roof. Rahab went up on the roof and said to them, I know that the Lord has given this land to you, and that a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you. Now, there's some useful information for these spies. Since a major objective of the spy mission was to assess the morale of the enemy, Rahab's words were just the kind of thing that they wanted to hear. So it's like they would be saying, hey, tell us more. So in verse 10, this is Rahab still talking. We have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the two kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. When we heard of it, our hearts melted, and everyone's courage failed because of you. For the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below. So, what did this Canaanite harlot say? What did she state like a declaration of faith? It's back on verse 9. I'm going to bring that back up, and I underline it. What does she say? I know that the Lord has given this land to you. This is a Canaanite woman. This is a Jericho woman. But she seems to have realized who God is. The Hebrew, the Israelite God is the true God. She just stated she believed that the Lord, the God of Israel, had given the Israelites the land of Canaan, their land. And this is before the army of Israel had even crossed the Jordan River. Rahab stated in effect, the conquest is as good as over. Then she revealed that priceless information that the inhabitants of Jericho, as well as the rest of Canaan, were utterly demoralized. They were melting in fear. But why were the Canaanites melting in fear? That brings us back to verse 10. We'll go back to that one. Because of the power of Israel's God, who parted the Red Sea for the Hebrew slaves 40 years before. That's a good reason. And more recently, Israel's God gave them victories over these two places, Sihon and Og, powerful kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan. And that was told in the book of Numbers, chapter 21 through 35. We won't go into it. But another reason for them to realize that the Israelites had a powerful God. And that same powerful God of Israel now had his sights on them. And they knew they could not win, therefore the fear. So what Rahab tells them in the last part of verse 11, I have it underlined here, is most amazing. Rahab declared her faith in Israel's God. She said, for the Lord, your God, is God in heaven above and on the earth below. And that's the faith that saved her. Okay, it continues now. Verse 12. This is her talking still. Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family, because I have shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all belong to them, and that you will save us from death. Now, when Rahab is asking for this kindness, it's translated kindness, the Hebrew word is hesed. hesed to be shown to her family. It's a significant and meaningful word. It's found about 250 times in the Old Testament. Hesed means loyal, steadfast, or faithful love based on a promise or an agreement or a covenant. Sometimes the word is used of God's covenant love for his people, and sometimes, as here, of relationships on the human level. So Rahab's request was that the spies make a hesed agreement with her and her father's family, just as she had made a hesed agreement with them by sparing their lives. Well, they have an immediate response. Our lives for your lives, the men assured her. If you don't tell what we are doing, we will treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us the land. So their response was not only immediate, it was decisive. When the Lord gives us Jericho, we will keep the Hesed agreement. If you don't report our mission, we will protect you and your family, or we will forfeit our own lives. And here we go. So she let them down in verse 15. She let them down by a rope through the window, for the house she lived in was part of the city wall. I have a little picture here for us to end that story. I'm going to stop there. I was going to try to get all that in the last installment, but that would have taken us pretty far over. So I'm leaving it here now. Looks like so far the two spies are safe. Rahab is safe, and we'll take up the rest of the story next time. So in the meantime, be safe, and may the Lord be with you.